Hey guys, we'll get started in just a few minutes. I can see the bars for me. Let's go with Dev first for once. Dev, say a few words so I can see the little bouncy audio bar thing.
Huzzah.
Good enough. AR.
I think somebody on Twitter actually thought I worked for the official show when I pointed out the weird comparison between Algomon and Algomon and my
Oh,
fanfic.
well, you've seen some of the messages I get. There are definitely people who think that I'm like
I
running the
couldn't,
show.
but I couldn't tell if it was somebody trying to presume that I worked for the show or somebody was apologizing because they were mistakenly under the impression their English just isn't very good.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
that
Years
happens.
ago, people thought that I was actually a voice actor on the show. It's like, no, I just do fan dubs.
You
Here is
could
a
you
here's
could
a
you could do
here
you could be the new voice of Kalumon.
here is the one objective truth of
Yeah.
here's the one objective truth of the internet.
People are dumb.
People from other countries who learn English, who say their English isn't very good, have about the best English there is
Oh,
most of the time.
no,
Yes,
this
I
one
will have to
this
agree with
one
that.
this one did not have good
Yeah,
English,
okay.
but yeah, usually that is the case though.
Generically, yeah, it will be something like, "I'm sorry if this doesn't make sense. English is my second language." It's like, no, your English is
Yeah, no,
great.
your
Don't
English is
worry
better
about
than
it.
most of the people.
Yeah,
Yeah, your English is better than most of the people I work with.
yeah. This is Twitter or a cartoon form. Your English is great.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Welcome to the WtW podcast. We're here to entertain and inform a bit while talking about Digimon. I'm Mark, a run with the will.
I'm AR Pulver, Digimon System Restore.
DevQ from Wikimon.
Enjoying your week, Dev?
Oh hell no, it's inventory week and we have
Oh
higher up
no.
visit, so
Oh,
no.
double whammy.
Oh, I meant
Yeah.
Wikimon.
Triple
Uh,
whammy. He just
just
can't catch a
looking at
break.
the wiki Discord server just makes me cry. Just like, nah, I'm just gonna mute this for a while and pretend they don't exist.
Makes sense.
Leave it on red.
How has your weekend been, AR? I hear that the Packers did well.
Let's not talk about that. The less said about that, the better.
Hey,
I hope Josh isn't on here, is he? Josh Knighton?
I don't think he's around at the
Okay,
moment. He
good,
may
because
be.
he's a big Saints fan, and they
See,
crushed us. We were
so
horrible.
what you're saying is Jeopardy has an opening. Maybe Aaron Rodgers should take that.
Yeah, he should definitely at this point he might want to consider it, especially because this is the week of the new season where that one producer that got kicked off the show. This is the week where his episodes that they already filmed are showing, and it's really awkward.
Oh yeah, that is this week, isn't it?
That is this week. He
That
was
do you
not yeah, he
the
was
best
like completely ordinary when he did his guest hosting stint, but now that everyone
the
knows
best the best thing
now
is
that
this.
everyone knows his laundry and everyone's watching him and
The
just
best
sort of
thing is since that's all happened, do you know why they didn't pick Ken Jennings?
I assume he has made other obligations because he's been doing the chase
He
lately.
does, but it apparently would have worked. Sony decided they didn't want him because his tweets are occasionally a bit colorful, and they were worried it would cause
Oh,
controversy. So they decided, well,
yeah,
yeah, we'll skip Ken
yeah, that was.
because we don't want like a Leno situation here where something happens, and
Mm,
that worked out well for him. We have some weird. It is a weird week for Digimon news because we had almost nothing up to a point, and then
Ghost game.
yeah, the floodgates opened
Boo.
when they remembered. Oh, we don't just have a show ending. We have to talk about a show that has products coming out within the next month.
Yep.
Yeah. So first we have episode 65 of Adventure, the Great Catastrophe Negamon. And We have 2 more episodes
There are
after
so
this.
many. It's a shame this episode was totally all right because there are
No,
so many great quotes
I
to make
liked
from
it.
this title.
I liked the
Yeah, no, this
episode, to be
episode was
honest.
is fine. It's good.
I liked it. You gave it a B, AR.
It wasn't worth more than a B. I was
No, no,
hovering
no.
between B and B
I'm
minus, but
saying
it got up to a B in the
when you're
end.
like it's all right, it has to be like a B minus or something. You can't
Oh,
give it a
is B
B
the
and say it's
point?
all right.
Is B the point where we say it's more than all right?
It feels like a B means it's good, not great.
It's good for this series.
It's like your parents aren't going to smack you when you get home and show them your report card, probably.
That depends on your family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine would have questions.
Yeah. So we start off with what every Digimon should have, which is Patamon sitting on Taku's head. And then
Absolutely.
Yeah, they need to do that more often.
So the weird thing when they're going over like and hearing from the various Digimon, we see the background. Did it kind of look like Space Invaders to anyone else?
At times, yeah.
Like, and I know that wasn't on purpose. It was just like they kind of pixely look floating in the air, but it was like, oh, it kind of looks like Space Invaders. And Joe has personality. This is a bit weird.
That was
He wasn't the
surprising.
butt of a joke.
Yeah.
He
It's
should have
always
been.
weird when that happens.
He should have been.
I mean, it would have been better and more consistent.
Yeah. And then we get as our villain the generic squid Negamon.
Yay, generic squid.
Generic squid,
squid.
eater, whatever you want to call it.
At least it's a generic squid with a tragic backstory.
Although I do like
And Diggy Boy.
I did like the LED panels underneath it.
It's a nice touch.
They should have been RGB though. Then it would truly be the scourge of the internet. So
we'll get into that when we talk Ghost Game.
Yeah, so they actually gave us
Just dial up noises.
They actually gave us a decent amount of setup for what his deal was.
Yeah.
And the weird thing is at first, did it feel like they were setting up exactly Apocalypse before they started to swerve a bit?
Yeah, it really did. The whole white void thing.
Like when they started, I'm like, at the very end, is it just gonna pop out and be Apocalypse at the very, very end? Because that's what it's aiming at. And then they started to swerve.
I don't mean
Apocalypse literally. I mean the same functional character.
The same deal. I mean, other than the tragic backstory, it might end up being the same deal.
Not sure how tragic that backstory is. Oh, you mean Apocalypse?
Well, both of them. They both have different. They have different tragic backstories.
I don't really put it as tragic. I mean, he's kind of just like a living asshole who wants to eat everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally just jellyfish.
But it is
it
notable.
doesn't have that much of a brain. It just eats shit.
Yeah, but it's notable that he's not by default this asshole that wants to eat everything. He became an asshole that wanted to eat everything.
I didn't take it that way at all, to be honest.
I just figured it's an asshole that wants to eat everything but got super powered.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I took it, was that was his thing, and it just happened that energy he found was worth more than he even thought it was, rather than it actually turning him into that.
Well, this is another case where if that's the interpretation, that it goes down a grade, because that's if Negamon, which is the epitome of
I think
nothingness.
I think you need to rewatch that segment, because I don't think he was by default like center or good. He was crazy evil, and that was his whole deal.
Yeah, then he shouldn't be Negamon, and this whole thing's garbage.
Yeah, his whole deal's negative. That's the name. The name's right there.
Well, negative is not inherently evil, though. That's what
that's what I mean. No, I mean negative everything. As in
negative existence.
Algomon talks a lot.
I like my interpretation is better. Might not be wrong because the series is bad, but I like my interpretation better. It's more redeeming.
And yet we're talking about the episode positively, unlike the Packers' performance. What would you rank that, AR, just out of curiosity?
Of what?
The Packers' performance over the weekend.
That's an F. That
I
was a
wasn't.
straight
I
F.
wasn't even paying attention to the game, and I just kept getting kept seeing messages
Oh,
from
the memes
people
were
talking about how
great.
terrible
Yeah,
it
the
was.
memes were
Once you start
fantastic.
talking about sports, I just start disassociating.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah. So framing them as like the opposite of the digital world and the Digivices was kind of weird, but kind of it'd be more interesting if there'd been some framing of the Digivices earlier, to be honest, of as
Yeah, we
anything.
really never did find out where they
Oh no,
came
they
from
told
or
us, and
who's.
they. What's weird is I think they told us this episode, but acted like they told us a few episodes ago, or I just forgot they told us.
Well, like they came from, earlier generations, but they still didn't go into too many details about
No,
it.
no, I mean in this episode they say the digital world itself created them,
Oh,
but they
well.
acted like they had told us that before. That's why I'm sitting here going, did they
If
tell us
that's
and it was so
yeah,
boring I forgot, or did they tell us here and
it's
I just misunderstood the explanation?
that's possible too. The series does
Because
not warrant paying attention to its
because
lore.
they actually say like the thing that actually created the digivices and summoned them there was the digital world itself and the essence of the Digimon trying blah 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 blah. Like
Hmm.
they do a whole spiel.
I must have completely spaced out for that part. This episode is, you're rapidly talking me down from this B. It's like
I don't know
you've
what grade
convinced
you
me
I
that
don't know
my
what grade I don't know
interpretation
what
of
grade you
Negamon,
I don't know what grade you
you're
should give it because you apparently we apparently watch entirely different things.
it's possible. The way you're
And that
describing
does
the episode,
happen.
it sounds like it reads like a C plus.
It may be like there was an explanation there. I'm not saying it's an explanation I like. It was there, and I'm confused by it a bit because it really felt like the way they said it that they were saying, "Oh, we told you this a bit ago," and I'm just like, "Eh,
They
did they
might
say this?
have.
I don't know."
I don't know.
Yeah. Uh,
I
then
don't remember
I
shit.
don't listen. I hope everyone understands. I don't listen to a damn thing Wiseman says in the series. So
well, that's your fault. For all you know, the show's brilliant, and you're just not listening to him.
no, Wiseman. I tuned out.
And
Like
then
I knew Wiseman wasn't worth paying attention to from
and
the
then
first episode.
Garbamon launches the Digimon and fails, launches them
That's
again, and
quality.
then Komondomon saves everything.
I should
Komondomon is
say
the
it.
best boy.
This was. I was not so sure about the whole putting all of the Digimon
Oh,
into the
that was
canon the
fucking great.
first
That
time.
was
I'm like,
great.
this is a little much. And then they do it with Komondomon. I'm like, okay, you win. I
But here's the thing:
surrender.
they don't tell us it's Komondomon at first. We just see
Yeah,
like the
that's
Oh, you
what's
just
so
blob,
great about it.
and we get
It's the
the.
secret weapon. Oh.
I can't do the exact noise he makes. It's very distinct. It's not Aru. It's more of
Yeah.
a. It,
Oh, something.
it's the exact Japanese onomatopoeia for the noise of a dog.
Yes.
And I simply can't make that noise. Although credit to, I don't remember what his name is, and I still would really like to know, is he there for every episode, or did he just record the noises once and they're just using them over and over again?
I'm pretty sure he's there for every
I
episode.
think he's there for every
I
episode.
would like to
It's
believe
very
so.
there are subtle intonations in every time he does it. It's like Vin Diesel doing Groot.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but people also say the same thing about the rakes in The Simpsons. And he only recorded that once, for that episode. Sideshow
No, that one
Bob.
sounded that did sound like it was once. I don't know where they're getting that from.
Um, then everyone evolves. I'd like that they blew up Algamon without actually fighting him. They evolved in the middle of him and just poof.
Yeah. The instant kill was okay. That was
Yeah.
a really long and annoying sequence of evolutions, but
Hey,
I
that's
like
what.
that he
Hey,
died.
see, here's the thing. That makes the grade go up for the episode. And do you know why? Because all season people have been bitching that we haven't been getting the evolution scenes. That's what you asked for,
That's
people.
what people have been
Not
complaining
you.
about.
Oh, people have been
Oh,
complaining nonstop
I was watching.
that we're
I
not
was
getting
watching
full
that.
evolution scenes with everyone.
Oh God, I was watching that whole thing, going, "Is this loss?"
But yeah, people actually have been complaining that we're only getting evolution stuff for those two. It should be everyone.
Anybody who complained about the ending of Part 4 of Try cannot be happy with what we saw here.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. But now they're evolved, and I will say the moment that they ended on was actually really good. Just end on the ominous crack without any clarification and just done.
Like, I'm fine with this.
Yeah, I mean, the real world doesn't have as much impact in this one. Like,
AR
okay.
AR has to AR has to rewatch it to figure out what his grade should be. I think he faded out partway through the episode. Then he woke up at the end and was like, "Yeah, that was a good episode."
No, I remember the ending was bad. But
Oh, the
yeah,
ending was
it's
good.
more our interpretations of what Negamon is. And
Well,
yeah, if he was always just this being that always wanted to destroy everything, then
well,
yeah, this is just
the reason why I
dumb.
go with that is I'm pretty sure they actually said that. Like, I don't think that's me interpreting, and I could be
I
100%
think
wrong.
I interpret it as him gradually going insane, whether it was from the internet or whether it was
See,
just the
the way I
constant
took it as
repetition
was
of
that
processes.
he existed before all this shit happened.
Yeah, I got that impression too.
That everything was stuff chasing after him because he was gaining strength without realizing they were chasing after him.
Yeah,
At
that
least
I
that's the
didn't
way I
get.
took it as.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I never took it at all as him being like a
Yeah, I just had him
whatever.
as a neutral, just a neutral negative process or
Yeah, see,
just a process.
I didn't even take it as him being a process, to be honest. It felt more like they were saying that he was the opposite of existence to a degree, at least to me. And like we said, we don't actually know if
But
we're like interpreting
either
it
way
wrong and so
though,
forth.
like the opposite of existence shouldn't be considered, good or bad. It's
No, I'm
just
not saying good or bad.
nihilist.
I'm saying it's nothing, which in this case is bad.
Yeah, it's
Like
there.
like
I think
taking
what we're getting
everything and
out of this is that he's not defined very well,
no, see,
and
I
that
thought he was
isn't a
defined
good.
fine for me. We just disagree on what the definition was.
Yeah, I mean, either way, he's a mindless, destructive villain now. So I guess
I-
it doesn't matter.
Is
It's
he?
just a jellyfish.
We don't
Yeah,
actually
it's
know if
just
he's
an evil.
mine.
It's just an evil jellyfish that's going to destroy the worlds.
Yeah,
The
we'll
thing is, like,
see.
it's looking
At the end of the day,
but it's
he's
just
at
kinda like,
the end of
yeah, I'm doing this.
yeah. At the end of the day, he's back to being Nidogmon.
It's like, no
Hey,
hard feelings. I'm just gonna end all of
I wouldn't
existence.
say that because we started to see eyes.
I mean, he needed Algomon to hype him up, so
To be fair, Algamon did a very good job
he
before he got
did.
blown up.
I wish he hadn't copied my fanfic, but yeah.
Did you just accidentally insult yourself?
I don't know. I was very thrown by that whole thing. Like,
Okay,
Algomon's reading his own lines from my fanfic.
I just wanted to check there because you're talking about how bad the writing is, and then you're like, he copied me.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah, it's kind of irritating how I keep complaining about the series and they keep taking things from my fanfic.
And the next time we get the last miracle, the last heart, and hey, look, it's Omegamon. Aren't we all shocked?
So, yeah, surprise, surprise.
Yeah. And we have the guide data for that, which, hey, we're going to see some evolutions. We're going to see people getting blown away. And then episode 67, which is the finale, we get no title for that yet. He's going to evolve again. And, oh, look, the last thing they fight is not from the Digivice. So we'll see how that plays out. And they 100% do not hint that something will happen to Omegamon. Hint, hint, wink, wink.
Nudge, nudge.
I'm enjoying the debate and people getting angry at people for not agreeing with what they think will happen, though. I've seen Alter S. I've seen Omegamon turning gold. Merciful mode.
Merciful mode, really? That's
No,
a
see,
leap.
what's really gonna happen? It's gonna be Omegamon.
Yes.
See, here's the thing. Logically,
series redeemed.
So
if we get Omegamon.
Logically, Alter S makes the most sense, but
Yeah.
Merciful Mode lets them re-release that toy, and they
What if
love
they
it.
do both? So that way.
See, here's the
they
problem.
Can, they
Don't
can
make
and
Merciful.
don't make that fucking joke, because here's the thing. They could do that.
Oh, they absolutely could do that.
They
Oh my
could do
god.
that, and then
I mean, I'm fine with doing that because I never got a
I
chance
mean,
to
I
get the
mean, I've
merciful
seen
mode
people guessing
figure
there'll
when it
be
was
2
available.
Omegamons at the same time,
What if there's an Omegamon for each pair of Digimon?
and Matias pops up with that weird bad take that people keep doing over and over, where they kind of ignore what Kenji Watanabe said because they think that he doesn't like drawing Omegamon. Because everyone read like the most horrible translation of that possible when he was talking about power-up modes.
Yeah.
He 100%
It
was
was more
not
the
talking about.
it was more a problem with the power creep
Yeah,
than
yeah. And even then, he gave up because he realized, yeah, it needs a power-up mode
yeah,
for it
I
to
don't
work.
think he could get away with saying that he doesn't like Omegamon forms and get away with it.
No, especially with how often he draws Omegamon. Like, he
Mm-hmm.
draws Omegamon and he's not paid for it. And yeah, exactly. But yeah, it weird, but I like the episode. I'm curious to see where it goes because it doesn't really feel like we should have like any arguments about where people think the show is going to end episode wise. It doesn't feel like there's 2 episodes left, does there?
I
I mean,
mean,
honestly, it
before
feels
they've
like
they've,
there's it.
they've speed run endings before. It's just
Yeah,
kind
it
of like,
feels
oh,
like
okay.
Oh no, I
honestly
don't mean speedrun. I mean it feels like it should just kind of be over.
yeah, it feels like next week should be the last one, but
Yeah.
no, they need. It'll be the episode where next episode
Oh shit.
Omegamon loses, and the week after
Oh,
Omegamon wins.
I forgot to say the most obvious thing. It's not going to be merciful mode. They can just announce an Alter S toy the same day it airs.
Yeah. Uh,
Exactly.
I can't see merciful mode. Like I get the idea of the power of all of them fueling an Omegamon form, but
See,
merciful
merciful
mode just has a different function than what they're
thematically
going
see
for.
thematically something less specific like merciful mode makes sense to me. I don't expect it. Alter S just doesn't feel like it has any oomph when they've only really minimally used those components.
Hmm.
Like if they
I
had
just
both, like if we had seen Blitz and Cress a few times each, it would be interesting as the alter. Because that's the other weird thing is, and it's weird to see people debate like, oh, how much more powerful would Ultra S be? The profile actually mocked the idea of that.
It's like, yeah, it's basically the same.
Yeah, it's basically the same. To like maybe it came to be because miracles, children, whatever. It's
yeah.
basically just laugh. It's basically just having a laugh at the idea that it always has to be that, which is funny.
Yeah, I mean, and the problem with the concept of merciful mode is just the idea that if merciful mode shows up, the idea is granting mercy, and Negamon's not really worthy of mercy. The other factor you have to consider with this is that does seem to be leaning very heavily towards, the power of humanity, the power of networking, leading to a
No,
positive energy.
here's what's gonna happen. The fight's gonna happen. Omegamon's going to be, punch drunk, and then
Hmm.
we will see the email faces appear and
Yeah,
light go to Omegamon, and it's going
yeah,
to be the fucking movie.
yeah. Oh yeah, totally. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
okay. Yeah.
exactly where they're leaning at right now.
So we'll see.
If they do something different, I will actually be kind of surprised.
I I keep waffling on if I really expect that because they kind of already played the war game.
Yeah.
They will never be tired of playing the war game
To
game.
be
And they
fair,
didn't, and I don't think that
Hosada's not
part.
tired of it either.
No, it's a good movie.
I mean,
How many times has he made it at this point?
so there's the original, which is our war game. Most people forget Super Flat Monogram, which is basically like a 3-minute version of the movie.
Yeah,
Like it's
yeah.
shockingly close.
So he's made it
Summer
what, 4
Wars
times?
Summer Wars.
and
Summer Wars. He's got the new one. It's
Bell.
kind of
Here's the thing: I'm not sure how close that is, or if it just looks like it.
it's good for the joke. Go with it.
Exactly.
I knew you were gonna go there, so I
Well,
just
but
assumed your
that's the thing
answer
is,
was
I have to be
4.
honest. It's not like I know what the movie is, I'll see it and then I'll go, oh, this is just fucking the movie again. But I
Yeah.
will wait to judge that movie until I see it.
Until then, it counts.
Yeah.
But yeah, it seems that that's the direction they're gonna go, and whether that
So
leads to just a really souped up Omegamon or Alter S, or we already had Alter S and it's gonna be a golden Alter S, it'll be something along those lines.
yeah, okay. I mean, we all are expecting Alter S, aren't we? Really?
Yeah,
It's
really
either
Yeah.
does.
it's either going to be Alter S or it's going to be just plain Omegamon, but the weapons get charged up somehow.
Yeah,
It'd be
I'm
cool
not
if they pulled out Wart.
not really because
that's tough. I
Zord's
mean,
kind of.
if they're
Here's the
really
thing.
going to if
It's
they're really going
Just looks
towards
cool.
if they're really going towards Negamon being neither light nor dark, I can see Zwart possibly as a companion to Omegamon, but that's a little tricky. I
it's
don't
all
see them. I
Just
don't
throw
see them
every
being
single
able,
Omegamon variant at it.
including Omegamon.
Yes,
Okay, yeah,
especially
that's
Omegamon.
that I approve.
look. The only reason that works is because then you can have Chika Sakamoto screaming a Shoutmon.
Mm,
Because they include him in
yeah,
that pile of Omegamon stuff.
Yeah.
Whenever they do
sure.
like the list of Omegamon, they always have like Omega Shoutmon with a little asterisk next to him, where he is powered by
Mm.
Omegamon.
They play
Yeah.
Cross Wars as much as they play War Game in this show. I can see it.
To be fair,
I'm down.
they have the assets ready from Cosmos.
They've got half the cast too.
Yeah, it makes it very easy. And then was this last week we talked about this, or was it the week before the Blu-ray box?
I think it was the week before.
Yeah. So that will be February 2nd. It will be 3 discs, and it will finish off the show. And again, they just say a clean ending, and that's gotten fucking annoying because the show doesn't have enough endings to make that like a surprise. Now that it's 3 discs is the final one, it's either going to be Omegamon's just going to be all the ultimates, isn't it? And that's like groupings of what we all guessed, I think.
Yeah.
Suddenly, bonds of courage and friendship show up.
Don't joke because they could do it.
They could.
Exactly.
I'm not going to rule out the possibility. It's awful
one.
It's awful thematically, but
Yeah.
so is everything else.
And then Ghost Game.
Yay!
They
sigh in relief.
They really are at the point where they're not used to running a show and having a show in the same franchise.
It's been a while.
Yeah. But like we basically had nothing until 3 weeks before airing. I mean, they're gonna have to amp up
You're
hard
gonna be
now.
hyped for a while.
Yeah. So, we know episode 67 is the end for Adventure. This will be October 3rd, which is, I believe, exactly when all three of us guessed based on DigiNavi 2 days before, the Digivice coming out the day before that, the manga being the day after.
Yeah.
So the plot.
Yeah, once we knew there was going to be a 67, we figured there would not be a 68.
Yeah. The plot teaser is. It's every Digimon plot teaser ever, to be honest.
Really is.
Which is weird because I think
weird shit.
because multiple people keep going like line by line trying to like squeeze out information. It's like this is almost exactly what we got for Adventure, just tweaked a bit.
Kind of.
Yeah, so bit into the future, new technology, hologram, ghost, which means that's just what they're calling Digimon because people don't know what Digimon are in the show.
Yep.
Rather than it being an actual ghost thing.
Mm-hmm.
The character gets a Digivice left to him by his father, which is interesting. We'll see it.
Okay. That's
I mean, it feels like Savers.
Yeah, Savers too, honestly.
Well, that's the thing is that's not Atmon for one reason, because we didn't know that was going on until far into the show.
Yeah, it was like maybe
like here, this is
18 episodes, I think we got it in Atmon, and this is right off the bat. So But even
And
then, Sabers, I don't know if I forgot when Sabers the father connection got in there.
yeah, I
That
don't
was
remember the.
it was earlier, but not by much.
And then Gamamon shows
It's like
up, and
your dad made these.
then we get the bizarre phenomena: mouth stitching man, mummy man, and Gamamon and Hero. And man, aren't we all shocked that the animation designs aren't exactly the poster designs?
I mean, the
So
Like
poster
this has
designs
never
were just
happened before.
yeah,
I mean,
those were
the
yeah.
poster designs would just give people a hobby and trying to figure out what all the hands were.
So we have Hero, first year junior high school student, 13 years old, level headed, others rely on him, doesn't turn out. This is just Taiki.
Yeah,
Taiki.
it really is just Taiki.
Yeah. And Tamura's playing him, so Koshiro from Try's back.
Okay.
Then Gamamon came to Hero
A
through
lot
his
of
father.
regulars.
Yeah. He's curious, he has a tendency to try and bite everything,
He's a
mischievous,
Gilmon.
but listens to people, and his favorite food is chocolate, which he calls the strongest.
It's just an amalgamation of various, like it's
Yeah.
Gilmon and Gatchmon combined, really.
And Miyuki Sawashiro's playing her, and that most people know her as Mirai from various games. And she has range compared to a lot of people, so we're gonna get some weird
Yeah.
evolution voices because
Yeah.
because it even popped up on Twitter where people are like, oh man, she always plays such cute characters. Like she she's Fujiko and Lupin, and that's a wildly different voice than I expect to pop out of this character.
I mean, I went on
Yeah.
Anime News Network and looked at like the
Yeah.
all the voice actor profiles, and like for all of them, it's just like, wow, they've been in a lot of stuff.
Well, that's
And you know,
basically
with
that's
Murray
basically what
reminds me
happened with Adventure.
with Murray, it reminds me that there is a little bit of Cyber Sleuth influence in that I can see. Not a lot though, not the direction people are thinking, but just a little bit
And
as a
then
treat.
then we have Ruri, who's goes to a combined junior high and high school, runs a social media account, social and has many friends, and everyone seems very amused by her on the poster.
Oh yeah.
Cause like,
Yeah.
cause like, cause like,
Well, her her
heroes,
combined with
heroes like,
Kyoshiro is I love it.
yeah. But also like heroes like in the action worried. We have Kyoshiro actually scared. She's like, hooray!
Yep.
And then there's the giant fucking rabbit behind her. So she's voiced by Yu Kobayashi, who she probably has the least relevant past Digimon role, Makoto and
Yeah,
Hunters,
Makoto.
but still like a lot of stuff.
I think I remember liking Makoto a lot
I
in
don't know
Hunters.
why, but Angoramon flying with the ears just makes me laugh considering how large he is.
Right?
Yeah.
It's
Like the
great.
ears aren't that big.
Well, I assume they pop
Right.
out because in the poster they're much bigger in the poster. Like in the poster, they're huge. And
Oh.
Kazuya Nakai's playing him, Gaomon. Doesn't look like Gaomon, but man, that's a change. And to get even weirder, Kiyoshiro, not even trying that last name.
Higashimi Tadai.
No,
Higashimi Tadai.
there you go. Head of the boys' student
I
dormitory.
practiced that beforehand.
Apparently graduated from grad school in the U.S., but decided to go back. This is one of those weird tropes that shows up in stuff constantly.
Yeah.
It's like super smart person who like
it's
graduated
Toma
college, but
and
now
yeah,
he's
you're getting it
being a
Toma
rat.
and Knight and all
Well,
those
no, I don't even mean
a-holes.
Digimon. I mean in general. That's one of those things in anime
Well, yeah, I'm just
where
trying
like
to be
where they actually graduated college, but because of some oddity, they end up back in whatever.
the credits didn't transfer.
No, I think the only show that actually explained that was Evangelion. Was she doesn't read Japanese well. I think, yeah.
I mean, he is Japanese. His name is extremely Japanese.
No, well, so was Asuka. But yeah,
well, Asuka
so,
had some language.
It's like
Not
damn kanji.
yeah. So He's a coward, which is fun and weird.
That's a nice touch. I like
Yeah.
that.
I just imagine him just being Shaggy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the same thought that I had.
Shaggy with a doctorate, but yeah.
It's Shaggy, but his Digimon Jellymon instead mocks him, tries to scare him,
Yes.
and it's Offmon as the voice, Yu Shimamura.
That's gonna be great.
That's gonna be weird because Offmon's such like a passive type
I mean, I
character.
don't think she's gonna use Offman's voice
Oh no,
exactly,
absolutely not. But I'm just saying, like, it's weird because in your head, when you see that, it's like, oh, it's Offmon, and you think of Offmon, and that just
Oh,
doesn't
it's the
work.
precious baby. It's like, no, this one's an asshole.
but I like asshole partners. We don't get enough of those. It like
Exactly.
we have
It's a
Gomamon,
really good
Lalamon,
dynamic.
and yeah.
And then let's go over the staff because there's some interesting here. And my favorite part is we had at least one person lie to fans about it. So the character designs are Tenya Yabuno, which we knew.
Yeah, obviously.
We could tell.
Digimon
Yeah.
designs by Kenshi Watanabe, which we guessed, but that's always an up or down because that doesn't always happen where he ends up being the designer. Normally it is, but not always. Then planning and design cooperation, Tenya Yabuno, which makes sense. Hiroshi Izawa. He said he wasn't involved.
Oh.
Did he?
Yes.
Hmm.
People actually asked him about Ghost Game, and he said, oh, not involved. Now, to be fair, he might have meant the poster, which is, but he's not an artist anyway, so.
Yeah.
But like, I definitely remember someone on Twitter asked him about his involvement. He said, "Oh, that has nothing to do with me." Series composers Masashi Soga. He did the first chunk of Bleach, Tokyo Mew Mew, various parts of Prince of Tennis, Great Teacher Onizuka, Gantz, Fairy Tale, lots
Okay.
of things.
Okay.
We have 2 series directors.
Very solid.
So
Yeah.
the first series director did the first chunk of Dragon Ball Super and many other anime, and also did a lot of stuff for early Digimon.
Yeah.
The other series director is the series director and episode director for Adventure, and also
This is
did
a good
directing for
combo, I
Yeah,
think.
and also worked on Dragon Ball Super, Kid Iroh,
Yeah.
One Piece. It is very much a Toei directing team.
Yeah. And as we can complain about the reboot all we want, but the direction was pretty good.
Yeah, but yeah, that's the weird thing, and I know you notice also the people complaining about having staff from the reboot. 1, we know they're happy with the reboot,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and 2,
I mean, the
they
reboot's been ranking pretty high in like
yeah,
the ratings,
Yeah.
so
and 2, they're gonna make what the company wants. They're not.
Mhm.
This isn't like them doing an auteur film. This is
Yeah, and
them.
all of our issues with it are primarily due to the writing. Like the direction has been
See,
great.
it's not even the episodic writing. It's where the writing is clearly
Yeah,
meant to be.
it's the composition.
Yeah, and it's not even the staff
And
composition.
that's
It's very much
yeah.
it very much reads as what the company wants it to be.
Yeah. And this
Um,
feels like it's not going to be that, so
yeah, so character designs by
fingers
Mariko
crossed.
Ito, who's worked on a lot of stuff, Log Horizon. It looks like this is one of her first more major, and character design in this case means the actual animation character designs.
Mhm.
So Yabuno designed the characters, Watanabe designed the new Digimon. This is the person actually designing the characters for the show.
yeah, like how exactly they're gonna move all the turnarounds and references that.
Yeah. Digimon design for Cho Shinozuka, who did artwork and animation for Adventure, Pretty Cure, Kidoro, Dragon Ball, more. It is very much a Toei staff. Art direction,
Yep.
Mai Ichioka, which Adventure, World Trigger, Pretty Cure, so
Poor
forth.
Toei.
Art design by Toshiaki Amanda, Atmon, Adventure, I think I wrote Full Metal Panic 5, but I think I meant 4 because I don't think there's a 5th one. The
I was
most
gonna
recent
say
Kidoro. Yeah, I think that was a typo when I was putting stuff together oddly fast.
there are so many full.
Yeah.
It does feel like there are a
And
lot of Full Metal
and
Panic series, though.
there is. And music is Ko Otani, which is this is effectively a mirror of what they did with Adventure, where they're getting a very well-known composer, and they're just gonna kind of let him do what he wants for the music. Some of the stuff
I
Otani's done,
love a lot of their done.
City Hunters,
Mhm.
most of the stuff I just listed the franchise generically because it was stuff where like he did City Hunter 91, but not the original. He did, some Shin Chan stuff, not all
Yeah,
of them.
I can't imagine Shin-chan only having one
Yeah.
composer.
Ice Shield
The
21,
music for Dot Hack
Yeah.
is some of my favorite, so
yeah,
I am
Gunslinger
super
Girl,
happy.
Dot Hack. He did, I think, all of the Gundam Wing stuff. Outlaw Star, Shakugan no Shana, some Tenchi stuff. You're Under Arrest,
Yeah.
Zatch
Wow.
Zoids.
Jeez.
Just like,
That's an old one.
yeah, just a lot of stuff. We have the nice clean poster art also, where, like you mentioned, heroes like action worried. We get Coward in the back. Ruri's very excited.
Ruri's just rolling with this.
And then we have generic Digimon chosen to be around the edge. And man, people,
Give people something to do.
yeah. And everyone's like, what does the RGB mean? What does it mean? And it's like, no, his name's
It's a
Gamamon.
yeah,
That's a
it's a
joke.
nice it's a cool it's a cool
And in the back, we
artistic
get
choice.
what is probably the name that had popped up before was Villainmon, and that's fucking pathetic. I really hope that was a
Let's see
fucking stand-in name.
to
That's
be named later, Mon.
I really hope that's what that
Metal
was, and
Ogreron.
not actually Villainmon.
At the same time, there is a Digimon called Evilmon. It's a pathetic Digimon, but it is called Evilmon.
Yeah, I know, but that's why it's funny.
Yeah.
And then we got the trailer, which was very little actual footage, but that did not
Yeah.
stop everyone from going nuts. And here's the thing: it basically just looked like Digimon, to be honest. Like I
It really did.
know why people will speculate, but especially
It
with the cast going, "Oh, it's like Kitaro," and my reaction is everyone commenting on that has never watched Kitaro.
nobody has anyone actually watched Kitaro here.
I own one Kitaro disc because it was like, oh, they're actually releasing something of Kitaro in the West. It's the live action movie I'll watch. It's like, okay, it's as much as I make the Scooby Doo jokes, it's not that far off. And then the
No,
whole
it
movie,
really
and then
that's
the whole movie ends with a dance off, like a full on like dance. I think it had the text at the bottom, and it had the little eyeball father character jumping between the text. And then I made, and I stand by the joke, but man, you can tell people have not seen enough Scooby Doo or Garfield when I made that joke, and people got actually upset. Which I said
but
was,
Scooby
sorry, go ahead.
No, but no, but Scooby Doo is that's the vibe to go here. It's going to be
Yeah,
like a kind of like a horror-ish aesthetic, but it's not going to
yeah.
be like scary.
Well, what I said
It's
was,
gonna be like the type of scary where it's like the generic episode where the kids in the high school go on like the 7 mysteries. Wow.
I
no,
mean,
you know what the proper example is, honestly, and I should have said it earlier. The Halloween episode of Boy Meets World.
I haven't seen that one.
yeah, that's so you're going with something even more obscure.
Okay, fine. I will go back to my Scooby Doo thing that people complained about,
Yeah,
which was
stick with
Yeah, stick with
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo.
which was
Stick with Scooby-Doo.
which I said was, we'll be lucky if it's half as horror as the Garfield Halloween special or Scooby Doo on Zombie Island. And people got very insulted, and that just tells me that they have not seen either of
They
those.
haven't. Yeah, you haven't seen the Garfield Halloween special. I think is actually going to be more scary than this will end up being.
Oh, I'm sure. That's why I said 50%.
That is the Garfield Halloween special is legitimately scary for kids.
Well, it was also Halloween Tree, so that'd be
Yeah,
fun.
it would. That was.
But yeah, like here's the thing:
actually do remember being
if Ghost
terrified by
Game
that.
is not even scary, if it's half as good as Scooby Doo on Zombie Island, it would probably be the best Digimon show ever.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not an insult. That movie's just
and
really fucking
even
good.
as we're comparing all these kid shows to this, it is still Digimon, and it's like Digimon has gone reasonably I guess scary-ish.
Yeah, but that's the other thing to remember is Kid show 9 a.m. on Sundays. This
Yeah.
is the same time slot that Adventure aired in, that the original Adventure and the other 3 shows aired in. Savers aired in.
Mm-hmm.
Heroes aired in it in other iterations. Dragon Ball airs in the slot. One Piece is right after. It's not like it's not. People keep going, "Ooh, it looks like it's gonna be serial killer stuff." No, it's not. It does not look
No.
like that at all.
It's a kids show.
Yeah.
It's
They
a
What
will.
kid
I
show.
mean,
I think
they
what
will.
people are
They
getting
will.
confused by, honestly, I think people really remember what Clockmon looked like in Hunters,
Oh.
where they mostly just
Yeah.
use the clock body,
Yeah. That was
and
a
they're like, "Oh,
different.
he has the stitch mouth. He looks evil." It's like that's just Clockmon.
Yeah. That was a.
Like
Yeah.
that's just what he looks like.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
what it. That's yeah. And
I,
it's like they'll find ways to put the fear of death
oh,
into these
oh
kids.
no,
They're not going to put the
absolutely.
fear of death into the audience.
Yeah,
It's just not. That's just not what this is about.
especially with the images from the. And this is where it gets weird and funny, where people going, "Oh, it's gonna be horror," and then they're like sharing the image of Gamamon, like the smiling from the trailer.
Yeah. Look how terrified Ruri is.
The only character who looks terrified is the one that we're told is a coward.
Yeah.
Rur- Ruri does not fit on that poster at all.
I love
Like
them
even
already.
even
Okay,
Gamamon.
Rory is basically me going to any kind of like haunted house attraction because all my
Yes.
friends are
Yes.
screaming and I'm just like
Yeah,
cackling like a gremlin.
Exactly.
yeah,
This
but
is
I'm looking.
these three are in a haunted house
Yeah,
that is put on by the local community center.
yeah. Well, over the next X of talking about the show, I guarantee you the words Garfield and Scooby Doo will be brought up a lot.
I forgot how scary that Garfield Halloween
Oh,
special was. But
as a kid, I love
you
seeing that once a year because people think it's
it
like
was. Oh, I did. I watched
I
it
know
once a year.
I
It's
know what
really
people think.
scary.
For some reason, people remember it being like the Great Pumpkin.
No.
Exactly.
No.
No.
It's been so long I don't remember if I've even seen the entire
Oh,
thing.
it's so good.
It's yeah. That one is particularly good.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have plenty more to say about Ghost Game.
And contrary to what you may have gathered from the past podcasts, I don't always say that about Garfield in its entirety. But no, the Halloween special is definitely a highlight.
Yeah. But yeah, so we'll have a lot more to say about Ghost Game. We still have to find out about music. If I had to guess, I think we're gonna get that's a great time to forget his name.
Do you think we'll hear a snippet before like a Diginavi or maybe even at the
Oh,
end of
well,
67?
by Diginavi, absolutely, because they'll have some sort of longer promo. They're not going to show a 30-second promo there. There will be something. We'll get some sort of snippet of music.
It'll probably be like
Yeah.
2 minutes maybe.
My wild guess is if I could find the damn
That
name.
that feels long, but something more substantial, like 30 seconds, maybe to a minute would
Well,
be my guess.
30 seconds is technically the current one.
Oh,
That's
Yep.
why I say it's definitely not that.
something, yeah.
I think
Hopefully,
if I had to guess, I would say they'll bring back Tanimoto for the opening.
hmm.
I would
I'm
like
fine with
to.
that.
I would like
Yeah,
to see
I
more.
wouldn't complain about
I
that.
would like to see more insert songs and not just have it be a one-man band, though. As much as I really like hearing his music, I would like.
It is kind of samey, which
Yeah.
does it. That's kind of an issue in this episode where they brought back "Be the Winners," and it didn't really register with me that they brought back "Be the Winners."
Well, the main issue actually isn't even that it's samey. It's that when was the last time we got a new song? Was like 30 or 40. It was like
I
30,
mean,
wasn't it?
that's more because that was the
Yeah,
first
around like
Ultimate Evolution,
32.
and
Yeah.
yeah. So unless they bust out a new song for Omegamon, which I'm not sure they're gonna do,
I don't think they're
I
going
wouldn't
to.
mind. But
I would say
that's
they.
just how the
I would say that I would be thinking more likely they would do that if they did not make the big deal out of, oh, the original soundtrack has Break the Chain on it.
Oh,
where
yeah,
where they kind of
yeah.
treat it like, oh, that there was the single release,
That's
and now this is
it's
it on.
done. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I could be wrong, but I think that's what they were saying.
yeah. That I mean, yeah, that would be.
Yeah.
Oh
So
well.
we'll definitely have more to say about Ghost Game. That's about it for now. It feels like there's going to be secondary casts announced soon because the framing here feels more set up for secondary cast than Adventure
Yeah,
was.
I think we're gonna get at least Hito's family.
I, I'm trying to decide if we actually will, or if it'll be something like the narrator is going to be his dad,
That is
Hmm.
something they would definitely
and it'll be her.
go for.
It'll be
It'll be
Hiroshi Harada.
Hirata.
But
Of
yeah,
course it will.
yeah, and then on to cards. New sleeves. I actually like the sleeves. The sleeves. Although I think the weirdest thing about the sleeves is the art that we thought was a teaser for Paladin mode in the card game was just fighter mode from this, where they just silhouetted it and used it because they knew it would be recognizable as an Imperial Dramon they hadn't used. And Terramon and Lopmon look happy / sad. I don't know how to put it. They look.
They're adorable.
Yep.
And
Yes.
Alphamon staying there going, I'm not a transforming toy you can buy me. And those are out December 24th.
We're gonna make
I
that joke every time Alphamon shows up in anything.
absolutely. And I feel like the price of these where you get 60 for about $6. I think that's actually good value if you use sleeves.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good.
Yeah. Then Fun Digica had an adventure themed match. I believe it was only using Digimon from the show,
Okay.
which that's interesting for deck building.
Yeah.
And then Card Battle had Miyano back for another match, and it looks like she'll be back next week also. And Digimon Profile was interesting this time, going over Digimoji and Digicode.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's.
nice getting like some really nice high quality art of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they go over both versions of it. They explain it. They also explain that it doesn't actually match Japanese exactly,
Yeah.
which is one of
I
those things
didn't
that
know
always
that.
throws people off.
I
Is that
never noticed that some of the Digimon used the English digicode.
yeah, it swaps around, and a lot of times I believe things are even mixed sometimes. Although I don't remember where, but I'm
Huh.
pretty sure that's come up.
There's a article on Wikimon that has like examples of what's used on which Digimon, like near the bottom of the page.
And then they do a test at the bottom.
I'm like,
Another
fuck that.
project for people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the art of Agumon Hakase looking at the stuff, and he's very large in this artwork. Like if you want to scale that,
Yeah. Maybe he's on a really small pedestal and he's actually like
really close to
way in
us,
the air.
that could be. Although I will say, the thing about the art that's clever to me is especially on the shield, the way they've subtly lit the Digimoji
Hmm.
to make
Yeah.
sure that you know that that's like the important thing.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
And I like that because that could have been a fail. Because a lot of times you don't even notice it's. A lot of times they don't even draw it because of how small it's going to be.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I actually like they did that, and a lot of people got upset by this art.
Oh,
Not
They
like
get upset about everything.
not like actually upset. I mean just like people going. I saw most people going. I never fucking noticed it had Omegamon's head on the hilt. It's like, oh no, that's there.
yeah,
That's
that's
there for
been
sure.
there.
Yeah. It's sort of like occasionally I will get lost when it comes to Omegamon and the chest piece, where sometimes it's the crest and sometimes not.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, I believe the one in Adventure in used in the movie does not have the crest pieces, and stuff outside of Adventure tends to.
Hmm.
Yeah. And then, hey Dev, getting any Tamer stuff?
I'm really tempted, but
Yeah, but basically this is.
money.
I'm guessing this is the overstock from the shop. Basically, the stuff that they ordered extra of in case something went wrong, and they just order more of it so that they can resell it later. I kind of like.
Like,
I
I
kind
kind
of.
of really want that skateboard deck.
I think most people who've been interested in the skateboard deck were interested up to the point that they saw the price, and that
Yeah, yeah,
Mm,
exactly.
yeah.
it's
Like,
like
yeah,
what
that looks fucking awesome. It's like, oh,
$190. Hell no,
Yeah.
is where things tend to fall.
yeah.
So yeah, I kind of like the glasses if I'm being honest.
Yeah, they
Like,
are nice glass. Yeah. I could go with those.
I mean, I'm not gonna spend
No,
$25 on them
I'm
and
not
import.
getting anything, but
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I could easily imagine the shipping cost for glasses being insane.
Astronomical.
Because to make
And they
sure those
probably wouldn't
ship
even
properly.
survive anyway.
I actually ordered a glass from one of the pop-up shops from an intermediary, and it arrived completely intact. It was one of the color. It was one of the changing design heat ones.
I actually really like the sweatshirts because I'd really like the Renamon one.
Those are really nice. Those are the ones that I expect people are probably ordering the most if they're importing anything. And then yet another pop-up shop. It's the Sweets Party stuff that they said. It's weird because not it's they had the listing, so this is maybe like half or a third, but it's like the better stuff I think. Like the little plush heads, the rubber keychains. I kind of want the
Tote
wall
bag.
scrolls to be honest. Kind of.
I don't really care for those that much. I kind of really like the
yeah.
poses on the stickers.
I think I like the art more than the idea of actually having wall scroll posters. I just like the
Mm.
art.
I'd probably go with the keychains, honestly.
Oh no,
That's
I
closer to my
love the rubber
jam.
keychains. I admit I've thought about grabbing a box of those. Thought of it. The problem is I don't use keychains, so that it just be. Well, I'm looking at the Digimon keychain sitting on my desk that has a bunch of dust on it from sitting there for years. So
I just
that
add
Because
it
like
to my
I actually
wall.
use my keychains, but
Yeah.
eventually they get maimed horribly.
Yeah, I actually use one keychain and it's actually from my English soccer team. Is the only keychain I actually use. The rest of them are hanging up on my wall.
that makes sense. Yeah, I used to have a ton of keychains. I had them on a like a coat hook where I just popped them all on there,
Okay.
and they were in my closet for years, like tons of them.
I did that with my convention badges and lanyards until I eventually like disassembled them and
To
put them into a book just because,
mm,
I needed space.
I've
I have them. I just don't know where they are.
I've been tempted to go with an E to get an Eda bag for them. Been tempted.
You know what you could get for them, AR?
Hmm?
Digimon Adventure tote bag. The only question is do you
Eh,
want large blue or small black?
Actually, no, that doesn't work because then I'd kind of have to pin them to the outside, and I actually lost a charm once that way.
Oh
So I
yeah,
have to
because
be a little
these would be
more.
too thick, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I
Uh,
actually lost one of my Tai Chi keychains before,
Oh
and I had to get a
okay.
new one.
Well,
I replaced it. It's okay.
the compromise will be you'll have to get the travel stickers and stick them on your car, AR.
That's more negotiable.
And talking about that stuff, hey, Pins! Pin Club has announced
Speaking of Eda bag stuff,
so
They are adorable and
they
I
ann-
really like them.
they announced Wizardmon as a New York Comic Con and online store exclusive, and then we're like, oh, that makes sense for an exclusive. I wonder the first one will be Agumon, and instead they announced another exclusive, which is Gatomon.
Kitty!
there we go.
Yeah,
Rest in
so
peace, my fucking wallet.
Just realized I already have a Gaudomon pin.
I have
It's
several.
it's from an artist. It's from an artist Allie, and she's actually dressed as Wonder Woman. But yeah, I do have a Gaudomon pin already.
yeah, so these will be at New York Comic Con and at Pin Club's online shop October 7th. And their initial tweet was a threat. that they would be doing Digimon pins, and these are just the first. That they're doing a whole line of Digimon pins. So good luck to your wallet, Dev.
If they sell them at Hot Topic, I'm fucked.
Oh God. If they have them anywhere on the internet without international shipping, then I'm in trouble.
Oh no, this is a U.S. This is like U.S.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you
yeah.
you won't be able to avoid these if you actually would want them. You won't have any excuse like, oh man, I'd have to use an intermediary and that would make it
Yep.
more
Nope.
unreasonable. Instead, it's
We're
gonna be
getting
like,
these.
yeah,
We're getting
exactly,
these whether we want to or not.
yeah.
I actually like
Uh,
the rose gold around Tailmon. That's
They're
really
very
fucking.
nice, yeah.
yeah, they're very nice. I would like to see some that use original art at some point. Because like I really like the Wizardmon, but also like that's the one piece of Wizardmon art that's used for everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
But I do like them. I don't think I'll get them though, to be honest.
I might get the
I I
Gatomon.
I,
I'm getting the kitty.
I
Yeah.
have. It, it's a problem that I didn't have for a lot of time that you guys do me, where I actually have the money to buy stuff if I want it. So it's like, oh, I need to not buy weird piddly crap like
First world problems.
yeah, like the coins. So these are like coin medallions that are. I don't know if they're out or coming out in China. They have the design of the 8 partner Digimon on them. They use the US logo. They have a
They
little.
look pretty freaking cool.
They actually look really nice. The price isn't bad. The price it breaks down to about $6 for one or $48 for a box of 8.
Mm.
Um,
Thing is, like,
and
does it guarantee you get like different ones?
I did not have the time at the time to actually go through the text, but the person who sent it in actually sent the link to the actual store listing at Taobao. So if someone wants to try to buy them,
Hmm.
so it look
Is that a consumer link or a wholesale link? Like for
I
suppliers to
believe it
stock.
was actually a consumer link, which is how I had the prices
Oh,
because they didn't send the
okay.
price.
Okay.
So so if I pull up the page right now, the page shows that the price is between 39 yuan and 312 yuan, which is the $6, $48. So that's not wholesaler pricing.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, yeah. So this is just like a store page from. Looks like yeah. I don't believe it's the company that made the product. I think it's just a store page. So if
Hmm.
someone wants to try, I'd be very curious about what the actual ones look like because like most of the images are clearly renders where they're silver. There's a few where Agumon's like gold, and
Might be a
then
chase.
there's a couple photo ones where they almost look more like a silvery brass. But no,
Yeah, or like beige or like a
so that's the thing
medallion
is
kind of.
they labeled them as zinc, and there is only 8. There is no chase. There's no specialty extra one unless they're hiding it. But as far as I can tell, it is just the 8. The back has the US logo. This is the type of thing where if someone imported enough of them, I guarantee you would see stacks of these at conventions. They are
Yeah. Oh
because it
yeah.
has the US logo and everything.
Mm-hmm.
These would be very easy to sell, I think. Oh man, I just noticed in that one promo image. Oh, poor Piomon. If you look at the image where it shows the box and the booklet and 3 of the coins, they've like lined up Agumon and Gabumon really like carefully, and Piomon's just
Mm-hmm.
like sideways.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then on top of the coins, we got a bit more information for the Chinese Digimon exhibition. A lot more products are being sold to this, both for the original Digimon Adventure and the current one. Like a lot of stuff.
Like,
Odd,
ooh, umbrellas.
oddly though, and I'm like looking. Oh, okay, there we go. I thought it has stuff featuring both versions of the parade art.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few. A lot of people really want the villain and side character stickers. I've seen.
Yeah, but they're just like really just it's just a generic clip art.
Yeah. I'm trying to decide if I were to import something, what would I get from here? I don't know. I actually don't know, but I know a lot of people seem to want that umbrella, minus the import fees that would take, being something that large. Hmm.
Well, it's pretty small. Like it's one of those like collapsing umbrellas that kind of like
Yeah, but
snap
it's but it,
down
but it's
into
going to be in
itself.
like a box, so it's not going to be flat. But you're not wrong. It probably wouldn't be that bad, actually. I don't know. A lot of people seem to want that umbrella, though. Yeah, it's neat that they're
Fun
doing
and
so much stuff.
practical.
And hey, more coins.
Endless coins.
Yeah. It's weird to see like the 99 and 2020 stuff side by side. Like to the point that they're actually tagging the little sections 1999, 2020. That seems super fucking weird. Even though it's just weird. I like the mugs. And
Same.
then, so we have a reference book update with Negamon with very nice artwork of him. We get artwork of well-known dog Komondomon, which, man, he looks super fucking
Best
happy.
boy.
Although
Yeah.
I do have to say,
He just saved the day.
when this went up, I'm like, oh, Commandomon's a weird choice. I'm translating the text, so it's for the tweet, and I put there, I'm like, oh no, what do they mean? He's been with them for a long time, and he did his best. It's like, oh no, what did they do to Commandomon? Because that's
They
before.
launched him out of a can. It's like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, exactly. Because at the time, that's before I've seen the episode. It's
They
like,
made him take a bath.
because when you read it, it's like, oh, Komondomon, he's been adventuring with them for a long time, and he did his best to deliver everyone's feelings. He was brave and did his best. It's like, what are they
Oh no.
suggesting here?
It's just a
Exactly.
long tweet. It's just a long way of saying he's a good boy.
Yeah. And then, most importantly of all, socks. And I think what
I'm
bothers me,
sad that there are shorty socks.
yeah,
Yeah,
I don't use ankle.
shorty
I assume
socks.
these are child size. Also, to be fair, like these aren't gonna fit me. The designs are actually really nice. Although they did do a little cropping mistake on War Greymon.
Yeah, that's
Although I have to be honest,
not.
I kind of love the cropping mistake, to be honest, because at first you don't realize it. It blends very well.
No, I saw it right away.
But yeah, and the socks are well priced. Pair is about $4.50.
That's definitely little kid socks.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
These are little kid socks, and they're gonna be shredded within half a year.
Oh, I wish I could get these
If
toys.
that.
I still like the.
Lucas would totally go for War Greymon socks, cropped or not.
Now, the one oddity is the cropped War Greymon. That part isn't on the sock anywhere. Like the design doesn't go to the back. So are we gonna see this? Like I think the Metal Greymon and Metal Groomon, I think we saw those on something like the sewed pixely type.
Might have been
Omegamon
on more socks.
probably. Now that I think about it, because we did get socks before, didn't we?
We've gotten socks at least twice before.
Socks. Yeah. And then we have questions, so you guys in the chat can start throwing them up. And then we'll go with the ones that were sent in ahead of time. The first one, I got this one and fucking laughed because I actually decided to like check so the question is, what happened to the Digimon card game videos they were doing in English? So
that we just completely destroyed because
So-
they were just so
Oh
atrocious.
my God.
so here's the thing. There's three things to go over. The first is when they talked about, oh well, maybe they would just sub the Japanese, and nothing's come from that yet. The English version of Fun Digico was fine. That I actually went and checked the channel that they were putting it on, and nothing. And so the ones we actually mocked, like the really badly done ones,
Like the tournament ones
So-
where you couldn't even.
unless those were on a different account, those are unlisted now. And I was too lazy to dig through with the will to find the article where I wrote about them. But they are not on that YouTube channel. If they were, I think that was the same channel, wasn't it? I think.
Pretty sure it was.
So, I mean, we even said God,
It
you
was
can't.
bad.
I was gonna say they're not professional, but they're not even really amateur quality either. Like those were not good.
I was like, I remember
So
my company was like baby's first YouTube video.
it was
It
It
was atrocious. It was just
yeah.
it would
god
have been
fucking
more
awful.
entertaining if it was an 8-year-old who just really knew the names of Digimon,
Yeah.
and it was the exact
So
same content.
so I'm not gonna say that's all gone, but at the very least, it has to be going through like we need to do this better because this is like supposed to be marketing to get people excited. I honestly think if you really want to do it properly, you have two choices. One of which you'll think is a joke, but it's 100% not. So the first one is subtitle Card Battle and Fun Digica.
Yeah.
The second one, which is the one that people take as a joke, is dub them.
Oh,
Because here's the thing: a lot of people
I think
aren't
you
gonna
could have
are
fun with that.
a lot of people aren't gonna read subtitles. Dub over them, and just time the releases to be when that content comes out in the West.
I could see that
I
working
think you could
really
have
well.
fun with that.
No, exactly. And here's the thing: they're shot nice. Everyone involved with it is very fun to watch. Like even the most boring episodes of those, people seem to enjoy. The only real issue is it is just like done quickly and cheaply in the studio, so it's not like you have the background audio without the cast.
Yeah.
So dubbing it becomes a bit iffy doing that. You would kind of have to do like the Nintendo thing where they sort of just pull down the audio whenever someone talks and then just dub over them.
Hmm.
But yeah, that would be my suggestion was dub them. I think those shows are good.
Bonus points if you can get like Brian Donovan to do it.
Well, you can have him be the announcer and just use his old Fox Kids voice. Yeah, and then Galhart wants to know what's your current favorite piece of weird Digimon trivia can be related to anything.
It's a tough one on the spot.
I'd bring up the capsule's ass. That it's technically connected to a weird old Bandai thing that Saban made a cartoon for. I don't remember if Saban made the cartoon or if they just did the music, but like that's something that technically is related to Digimon was related to Saban years before. I think that's weird.
Oh, I know Bun is the amalgamation of Koromon and Agumon.
Oh yeah, that one. I forgot about that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I think it's very funny that Jeff Nimoy won an Emmy for his work with the NFL, and Terry Bradshaw deserves an Emmy for his work with Digimon.
Oh, that's good. In the chat, it appeared. I'm gonna assume the confusion is based on what I said, since you guys were more straightforward and less weird. Um, Bandai had a franchise, I believe it was called Capsule Zeus. Does that name sound about right to you guys?
I think Zaurus, maybe?
Okay, it was basically like an old monster capsule-y thing, not inherently different than the later stuff like Pokemon, Monster Rancher, and so forth. Um, and Saban did a cartoon for it. Like we're talking late 80s, early 90s, or he did the music. I don't remember which. The earliest stuff we have of Digimon appears that it was going to be a revival of that franchise, or at least was taking inspiration from that version, that thing at the time. So it's one of those things where they cut it. It's weird. So that's what I'm talking about. It was because Capsule Zaurus was what Digimon was going to be. But then it was Pocket Zaurus was the one in the 80s. And Saban did the music for it and everything, and that would have been 12, 13, 14, 15 years before Digimon had anything to do with anything. So yeah. Um That was what I was saying. Is it's just weird that they crossed paths before the franchise ever existed. Then someone wants to know, you guys talked about funny remix and song mashups in the pre-live show talk. Are there any you remember well and like?
Funny
See,
mashups.
I
Huh.
see funny. Okay,
I didn't
maybe
see funny when I was looking at this. I was struggling
actually,
to think of just good ones.
actually, I don't remember if funny was even there when I pasted to you guys. That might have been added in by Lost by accident. I actually need to check what I pasted you guys. What was the question? Oh no, it did say funny when I pasted to you guys, so that was definitely there.
Okay.
The one
No,
that
I believe you. I just
no, I know
was
I went and
excited to
I
share
went and
stuff. I
checked
was
what.
just excited to share fun, like good remixes from other
Yeah,
people.
the one that I wasn't gonna go with funny. The one that I was gonna mention accidentally is funny. The Closer in Super Mario. That's from like way years past. The Nine Inch
Oh,
Nails song "Closer"
yeah.
remixed with the Mario
So
theme.
what?
Because that's a mashup
Mm.
that
That's
counts.
yeah. No, that would count as a mashup. I don't think I haven't heard that before. I'm
Oh,
trying to
you've
picture it
never
in
heard
my
that?
head, and it's
Oh, it's mixed. It's mixed up so well.
yeah. I
That's
mean,
like
the
a
ultimate. It's like the ultimate go-to mashup is the holiday classic mashing up "All I Want for Christmas Is You" with "Welcome to the Black Parade." That's pretty
you don't
funny.
think
The
I
first
don't
time,
I'm not
it's
sure I've
funny.
heard that one.
It's funny the first time you hear it. After that, it becomes a holiday staple. But yeah, welcome.
I'm
It's
not
"All I
It
Want for
is.
Christmas Is You" with "Welcome to the Black Parade." It's fantastic.
I'm actually not sure I've heard that, to be honest.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's great.
I'll have to pull that one up.
Anyway,
And
if we're going for funny,
yeah,
that's my answer because the one I was going to
well,
share was just impressive.
the real funny answer is anyone that involves Giles' theme, The Fresh Prince, Space Jam.
Actually, if we're talking funny and not necessarily good, a few years ago, I did a mashup of the ending theme to our war game mashed up with "One Week" by Bare Naked Ladies. I would call that funny
Oh,
because it's not.
boo!
I would definitely not call that good
Good.
because I did it.
Oh, oh God, this just reminded me. I don't remember if it was in the chat or if someone said something to me later. There's an explanation for why Barkley always shows up in the Space Jam ones. They use the song in Barkley Up and Jam Gaiden, the fan
Oh,
RPG,
yeah, I think I read that somewhere when you shared the
starring Barkley himself and
yeah
not
when you
Joe
shared
Hoops.
this Space Jam Evangelion combo.
I don't even remember
Also,
that
the
one.
Space Jam. Well, that was fantastic. But the Space Jam, Prince of Egypt, Plagues mashup is also fantastic.
Here's the problem,
Oh my
Dev.
god.
Here's the problem, Dev. You'll have to share that because there's so many Space Jam mashups that you could hear 1,000 and still not have heard the right one.
Yeah,
Trying
it's
to.
just
Yeah. Um. Okay. So we don't stick to that one for half an hour like what happened last time. I hope this works. Wants to know: do we think Angoramon will fly by flapping his ears like Patamon or spinning like a helicopter? I'd say his size.
Ooh.
obviously it's the Aho guy. He's going to be
His
spinning. The Aho guy is going to support his entire weight.
his size to me says it's gonna be like helicopter spinning, and he's gonna like hold people and stuff and zoom around. You know what it's gonna be? Um, when Elroy Jetson ejects from the car, and he's sort of just like sitting there zooming around. Imagine that, but with
Hmm.
a helicopter propeller.
Yeah, I'm just seeing that little ear antenna, that Haru ear antenna. That's just going to spin around and carry his weight.
I think this
Um,
might be it.
you could share that with us later. No time to listen to music in the midst of questions.
Aw, you know
That
fun.
is the laziest fucking cover I could imagine. That does not set up for greatness, Dev. The link shows the cover image. It's just the bottom half of the Space Jam cover, and the top
It
half
also
of the
Once
Prince
doesn't.
of
I
Egypt
feel
cover.
like
Yeah, there's also
it should be on my Tumblr, but
there's also a notable lack of Barkley on that cover.
Yeah. Okay, so someone wants to know, a complaint about Digimon Adventure 2020 was the team being separated, and they wonder if that's something happens in other it happens in shows a lot.
Well, yeah, it's
Like not just Digimon, that's like a very common thing in
yeah, yeah.
like Ronin Warriors. If you include all the OVAs, that's a 50 episode show. I don't think they're together as a team for more than 10 or 12 episodes, and they're all there together in episode 1.
Yeah, and the criticisms about that particular
It's more
element, it's more yeah, you also by not having the team together, you don't really give them a chance to gel and feel out we don't really get a good sense of their group dynamic and how they all function within each other and get along with each other and what potential conflicts there are. But once you have that settled in, like the season 1 did a very good job kind of settling in that in before they started breaking the
yeah.
team up. Like once you settle that in, once you break the team up, it's great because then you get some individual spotlight on these characters. Like the Dark Masters arc was so good because the team was split up.
Yeah. And then Joe wants to know if a potential dub of Adventure is successful, would stuff past Adventure that isn't Adventure get dubbed? Yes, success means more stuff. I think that one's actually pretty
Yeah,
easy. Is if
yeah.
Adventure gets dubbed and it does well, then we get more stuff.
I'm surprised we haven't heard anything about that, honestly.
I'm trying to decide if we have. There's been the occasional weird comment from actors that could be 100% not be related to Digimon at all, but like kind of makes you go, we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. I was on an online panel with Derek Stephen Prince and Paul St. Peter yesterday, and they said had not no, it wasn't on their radars.
Let's see. Okay. Then someone wants to know, did we end up watching the new He-Man? No,
No.
I've heard it's
I
actually
haven't had a chance.
I've heard it's good, but it's only half there. If I watch it, I'll wait until it's all there. And of course, because planning for He-Man is always kind of shit, a entirely separate He-Man reboot's out this week.
Oh God.
I saw the trailer
I
for that one. That looked fun.
I would not.
It is very much what He-Man should probably be, which is kid-friendly humor. Kid picks up sword, turns into big guy shenanigans, which is
I haven't
probably what
even.
He-Man needs.
I haven't even seen the new She-Ra yet, so I'd watch that before I watch the
Okay,
new He-Man.
it's fantastic. Also, season 3 will make you cry like a bitch.
I've heard that. I've heard it's
Yeah,
very
I
good.
haven't really been in the mood to watch it. Not because I think it'll be bad, but anytime I think about watching it, my brain just goes, "How's that Voltron?"
Yeah, I've seen. Yeah, exactly. I've seen like 2 episodes, and it was like as a good start, but yeah, I
Yeah.
just haven't had the motivation to
Like
continue.
I 100% am aware that it's supposed to be better than Voltron and not make the same mistakes. But also, every time I see it, I just
Yeah,
go,
they didn't go kill your gaze.
It does look like Voltron is the
"Yeah,
problem.
yeah." It is. Anytime I look at it, I'm just like, man, I know it's not. It doesn't trip over itself like Voltron does 1,000 times. I
Yeah,
100% understand that. But anytime I see it, I just go, man, I got
you
shit
just
to
see
do.
that animation style and get tired.
Yeah. Let's see. Were there any more in the room? Oh, Joe, Joe watched the He-Man She-Ra Christmas crossover. Oh no, not to watch it. He wants them to do it again with the new stuff, but with Skeletor singing.
I mean, we need more
Yes,
Skeletor
please.
singing in general. Like
I,
that should be part of the new He-Man series, regardless.
I don't know. I looked at the trailer and I could easily imagine people singing that show because that is the exact. And this is where it gets like confusing that they just launched the other one and then like the second half is like weeks from now. The show that's launching this week is a full reboot. It's CGI and it's 100% like He-Man for kids, which is what it should be. But
And the other one's like super dark and gritty.
it's so tonally different than something they just like. It's not like He-Man's been like a constant. The last He-Man animation that was not the She-Ra show was the one from like 2002. So it feels weird to like throw so much stuff in a row like that when the one isn't even done yet. So it's just weird. But no, I'd like to watch it, but I don't think I don't know. I've heard it's good, but I kind of don't want to.
I might get to it eventually.
When
Or not.
it's all there, there's a chance I will. I'm not gonna do it when it's half there.
There you go.
I'm a little bogged down at the moment with 50 hours a week, so eventually, definitely.
I'll also be more interested to do it when people don't care about it if I choose to talk about it, because anytime someone mentions He-Man on social media, Jesus fucking Christ. Just everyone
I
like,
just get that one song stuck in my head.
Everyone has an opinion on He-Man for some reason.
and often it's opinions that don't seem to match up with having seen the show. Like
Oh,
people like,
absolutely not.
where people like He-Man's serious and manly and about men. It's like, have you fucking watched He-Man?
No, that's wrong.
It's like the clip of He-Man that people like to share is when like he's late for like a dinner party and he like runs into a coat rack and like he grabs the coat rack, puts the coat rack back and walks to his chair, but everyone's like looking at him and just no one talks about it.
And that's how like every series in the 80s was.
Yes, we're like just
Like they were all like that.
Look, the only thing He-Man that people really know is that one fucking song, the Hey Ya,
Yeah.
and
Well, then there's also that one
the commercial
too. I'm
from the
sexy
UK.
and I know it.
I don't remember. That's not the one I see. The other thing I remember
We're
is
getting back into mashups at this rate.
it was a commercial for like a discount chain in the UK where
Yeah,
you
I
see
saw that one.
Yeah.
it's like He-Man sitting at a bar and then Skeletor walks in and they both like face off and someone goes to like the jukebox and it's like I don't remember what the song is, but it's like a ballad and they start dancing together. But it's not
Yeah.
like a cartoon. It's like people in like really nicely made outfits.
Yeah.
Like
I've seen it.
exactly. Then someone wanted to know, do you think we would do an update stream? I take this as more towards me because I don't think we've done a streaming guide on the show, have we?
I've never I might have put one on Tumblr at one point, but it wasn't part of the show, no.
Okay, they may be talking to both. If we've both done streaming guides separately, it may be for both of us then. The answer isn't no, but the answer is no because it's not really like when Tribe began, it was actually feasible that you were a Digimon fan on the internet and hadn't done that before.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm not saying I won't give advice if you ask, but like I don't think like writing up an actual guide's needed anymore, is it?
No, probably probably not for yeah, no.
Yeah. Because that's kind of just part of watching TV now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you just kind of like, it's like, oh, where do I watch this? Just Google. It's like, okay,
Yeah,
what
it's
streaming
yeah, where
platform
do you
is
Yeah.
this
watch this?
series
Like
There
on?
are the sites where you can look that up now.
like when I wrote the guide back when Try Part 1 was starting, and I actually heard from people on AIM at the time. Multiple people were like,
Oh God.
multiple people were like, well, I have a Wii, will that work? And like at that, I don't know if it still would, but at the time, absolutely. So yeah, I don't see writing up a guide.
I never thought I would feel old discussing Try. You've done it. Way to go.
A few more years, and I mean, it's been 10 years since Cross Wars. A few more years, and it's gonna be
Yeah.
10 years since Try.
Yeah. 4 years. 4 years to Try's anniversary, 10th anniversary.
Yeah. Last chance for you
God.
guys in the chat to throw a question because we have one more. One sent in ahead of time. Someone wants to know any old obscure anime to recommend to buy and watch.
I always go to Kadocha Nadesco for that, and Nadesco's not
Well,
even that
see,
obscure.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Was the weird thing is
Kadocha's obscure enough
as
still.
I don't know if Kadocha's obscure.
It
It's just something that
is.
hasn't been available. People still like it.
Yeah, I'd call it obscure because not enough people have seen it.
See,
That's-
this is
Oh,
where.
there's Mononoke.
Wait,
What did you say, Mononoke?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, for a
That's
second.
fair. Yeah, that's legit.
Yeah, it's weird because a lot of stuff that you might take as obscure, it's probably less obscure and more not in your wheelhouse. Like like you could all. it's
But I
weird
mean,
because
no,
like
Mononoke was so obscure. I didn't know about it even like right as it was right after it
no,
came
no,
out.
no, I know, but I mean like you could argue that general anime audiences today wouldn't know what Orange Road is, but that's not really obscure. But like I don't know the person who sent the
I mean,
question is the thing. Like
things get more. I mean, things do get more obscure over the years. It's just
and and,
natural.
and this question for me is kind of a cheat because literally I just have a sheet up of stuff I've worked on and I'm just like skimming it like
Yeah, ask
no,
the
no.
discotheque guy for old and obscure stuff. It's probably in the catalog.
Yeah, I'm skimming through to see if there's anything like because eh, well, like Orange Road or Cybergirl 9 kind of became obscure for a while because the 2001 show vanished for years. Okay, it's not anime, but I'm going to answer Starfleet. Japanese puppet show with giant robots and spaceships. It had a British dub and the subtitle version on the disc.
I think you're
Eh,
trying too hard.
Why? That's great. I love that stupid show. Oh, I'm literally just like skimming the list of stuff I've worked on.
Don't
Going,
complain about me plugging Kadocha. You guys are releasing it in a few months. That's coming out pretty soon, isn't
that's. I think the solicitation's gone up 1 second. I'm pretty sure I wrote that solicitation, but I just
it?
well because it's one of those things where yeah, okay, I definitely wrote it's out in November. I worked on
There
the
you
disc
go.
and I wrote the marketing
There you go.
tweets.
Everyone buy Kadocha. Galhart mentioned Love Hina. I'm not sure I'd recommend. I don't know if I'd recommend Love Hina. I don't know how well it holds up. I'd have to watch it again
The
to
other issue
see.
is I'm not even sure if the original's in print at the moment. I think Funimation has the show still. I don't know if that's
Hmm.
like I don't know if the DVD's in print or if it's still streamed because like some of their Tenchi stuff's actually out of print at the moment.
I, that doesn't surprise me actually. Yeah.
No, but I mean like the good Tenchi stuff's out of print.
Yeah. No, I know.
Oh
I
Jesus
know what you mean.
fucking Christ! Holy hell! I pulled up Amazon and was pulling up the Love Hina disc. That's definitely out of print. Other
Super.
How many hundreds of dollars do they want?
Yeah.
it's their anime classics version, which collected after they would have done a few
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
Their box set versions are going for like $100, and that's not.
Yep. Yep.
And
I mean,
popping up
back when Love Hina came out, that was the usual price for
yeah,
that sort of
and
thing.
popping up right next to it's a box set of Ayori Aoshi for $27.
Appropriate.
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting to get an Ayori Aoshi dig in this episode, but here we are.
Yeah. Oh no. Okay, I know the one. I was gonna close the text file that I had with the list. Arian, that just finally got a U.S. release earlier this year. Like big fancy sunrise film, Greek mythology and everything. It looks gorgeous. That's
Hmm.
one of those weird ones like people knew about it but hadn't generally seen it because it hadn't gotten a release in
Yeah, I don't
English at
think I've
all.
heard of that one.
Oh, it's so fucking good. I'm gonna stick the gum in that disc and send it to you against your will.
I mean, if you really recommended that highly, I'd check it out. I don't have
Oh
any
no!
problem
Oh
with it. I'm
no!
just
Oh no! I mean that I actually have an extra copy of it.
oh.
I have to. I have to send the gum somehow. Yeah, it'll be that and a copy of
Flush it
Yakuza.
out
You
of
realize at this point I'm going to be
Garumon's
disappointed if you
canon.
don't send the gum.
Oh, I'm gonna send the gum.
Okay.
Well, what I planned to do, and I'm just gonna go ahead and say what I plan to do. I was actually gonna send it with a stack of extra discs, anyways.
Oh, okay.
I was just trying to decide what discs would be the most hilarious for you guys to get.
Would there be a mandate to watch them?
No,
Okay.
but the problem is if you get like something weird like Cleopatra, you'll be compelled to watch it.
Don't be so sure about that.
Oh no, you'll see the back of the box and go, "What the fuck is this?"
Is it
And
just a
then watch it.
giant is it just a giant black and white C?
No, it is a very strange Osamu Tezuka anime film. It's like it starts off with like
Okay.
live action, but like they animate the heads, and then they time travel back in time to the time of Cleopatra. And
Okay. You had me at Tezuka.
no, it's not. No, see, it's not done because it gets weird. The art's all avant-garde, and like it just
Yeah,
fucking
it's
weird.
okay.
Astro Boy shows up at one point. Like it doesn't
Oh.
make.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't
Okay.
make sense. Like you're gonna watch it against your will. Yeah, and I believe that was the last question. Uh, were there any others in the chat? I'm scrolling to see if I missed any.
I didn't see any
Yeah, I
questions.
think there are comments
A
based on what
lot
we've
of
said.
comments.
Yes.
Even if there are, I don't care because I want ice cream.
AR, where can they find you? What have you been up to? And what shall you be doing?
Digimon.firstagent.net is my review site. First Agent ARP on Twitter. I didn't actually get to any questions last week. I'll have to get to that. Haven't been in a mood for pontificating lately, and these are more thoughtful questions, so I have to be thoughtful about them, which is a lot harder than.
I just sent you guys a screen cap from the producer of Cleopatra, who had
Oh
tweeted
my.
it.
Okay. Yeah. That's Cleopatra, all right. I can
Yeah.
recognize her by her gun.
Yeah. Oh fuck. I'm not even fucking kidding. I'm gonna get you to watch the
That's an
movie.
ancient Egyptian model for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, you didn't answer any questions and you need to do them. You were saying.
Yeah. I might do them this week. I might not. We'll
Are
see.
are you just trying to figure out the gun thing?
It has thrown me for sure.
Yeah.
It's a 44 Magnum.
Jeff, what Wikimon article would you like people to read?
Well, since I can't cheat and use the Digimoji article, they should look at the Ranamon article, which is a fishy asshole, kind of like what Jellymon's probably
Jellymon's
gonna
gonna be. I'm looking at that Cleopatra thing. Is that from the updated Shakespeare of Ant and Cleopatra with the Leonardo DiCaprio in it? Is that maybe?
You make the joke, but there is some Shakespeare stuff in the movie.
Perfect.
Oh,
That fits right in.
I'm not even kidding. I really want you to watch the movie now just to see how you react to it because it is very strange.
Okay. I'll look forward to it with my gum.
I told you the weird thing is I don't even think the gun had to do with the time travel. I think it showed up separately. I don't remember now. It's a very strange movie.
The time travel you just dropped on me though. I wasn't aware there was time travel until
No,
you
I mentioned
mentioned
there was
it.
time
So.
travel. I mentioned
Oh,
that
you
it
did?
started.
Okay.
I mentioned it started
Okay.
with like actual actors, but they were animating the heads, and then they time
Okay.
travel back to the time of Cleopatra.
I
And one of
was
the
perfectly content assuming that this version of ancient Egypt had handguns in it.
well, it does. I
Back
don't. I don't think that had to do with the time travel. Or it's fucking weird. Dev, your Ranamon has earned your ice cream, as the chat has declared.
Go
At
get
some
ice cream.
at some
I want
point
ice cream.
at some point in the next few months, we will definitely get AR's comments on Cleopatra, and we will
Yes.
catch you guys next time. Thanks for showing up. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.